Welcome to the podcast. My name is Michelle Sinclair. Today we are going to start by reading from the Christ Letters. This is the book, the letters that led to my enlightenment. It was my devoted study to these letters and my spiritual practice that led to this enlightenment, which then in turn led to my healing abilities. And now I am teaching you because it is the way to truth and to freedom. So I am going to start here on page 365. If you happen to have the book, FYI, if you don't, you can listen to them for free online, or you can read them for free online. When are you going to wake up, grow up, and decide you will have the courage to cast aside your old, well-loved myths of a bleeding Christ on a cross paying for your sins? When will you accept my truth? The truth that I, Jesus, was seen to be a threat to public peace and a threat to the Jewish leaders because I taught the people about a God of love, a God which did not need sacrifices. I taught the people that forgiveness was essential to experience a happy and healthy life. Well, the Jews taught an eye for an eye, and that their God was sent to them and their God would send them into holy wars against the pagans. I, the true Christ, taught them that they should not be worried about unclean drinking cups, but they should watch what came from their minds and mouths. Those who have insight and understanding will recognize that I have returned and am enlarging on this simple theme and explaining why I taught the principles of life, which people now need so urgently to save themselves and the planet from wholesale disaster. You think and feel with the same energy as your world is created from. Your thoughts are electromagnetic blueprints which eventually externalize as events and things that you've either longed for or greatly feared, or as those things which, good and bad, you have done to others. Love, love, love is the only way to healing, well-being, prosperity, true success, and happiness. So I'm going to go through this again here and make some additions on this. So Jesus was a threat to the Jewish leaders because he taught the people about a God of love, a God that did not need sacrifices. So back in the day, that's why Jesus was flipping the tables in the church. Back in the day, you would go to the church, you would pay the sacrifice dudes sitting up there, you give them your money, and then they would sacrifice an animal for you, and this would, allegedly atone for your sinning. Now, Jesus knew that this was BS, and that it was ridiculous, that we're going to go and murder this thing over here, and that somehow murdering this living, beautiful creature that was meant to live life, just as you were meant to enjoy and live your life, murdering that thing would somehow atone for the thing that you had done. Ridiculous, obviously, and he knew this. Now, this wasn't the only reason that he's pissed, that, they're killing these animals. He's pissed because the church is threatening damnation to the poor people. So he saw and had such compassion, and he had had so much compassion his whole entire life for people that were suffering. And so he saw that these poor people were already suffering, and now the church has their heavy hand on them saying, hey man, if you don't pay, give us some more of your money for these sacrifices. Well, not only is your life hell right now, but it's going to be hell when you die. And so he was furious about this, that they would preach these horrible things when he knew that the only thing that really was true and real was love. And he would go around and he would preach about this love, and this is how he would heal the people. He would preach about it, and then he would do the healings to prove that what he was saying to the people was true. So the church had an entirely different teaching than what he had brought. He came and brought an entirely different message. So they were pissed, and they killed him for it. Moving on here. So he taught people about forgiveness, and that it was essential to experience a happy and healthy life. Well, the Jews taught an eye for an eye, and their God sent them into holy wars against the pagans. So he knew forgiveness was essential. I know forgiveness is essential. If you have not forgiven, if you have someone left in your life that you have not truly forgiven, this is how you know if you forgive them. Because when you forgive them, you want just as good for them as you want for yourself. That's how you know. So if you have someone in your life and you're like, I forgave them, but really you didn't, and you're just ignoring them and you're just pretending like you did and you didn't actually forgive them, this is how you know. Because when you genuinely forgive someone, you want them, first of all, you want them to gain enlightenment. You want them to live a happy and amazing and healthy life. You don't want them to cause any harm to anybody else. You want them to enjoy and love their life. This is how you know if you've really forgiven someone. So he knew that when you don't forgive, the thoughts that you are thinking are electromagnetic, right? So your thought, well, they're not electromagnetic, they're electric. So you are sending out your electric thoughts of, I don't know, revenge, spite, hate, malice, whatever lowly thinking that you have that makes you feel terrible when you even think about it, or it makes you enraged when you think about it, or frustrated, or whatever it is. When you think about these things, you are sending that out. And he knew that by you doing this, through magnetism, it would be returned back to you. So not only are you sending this out, these negative thoughts about this person, which will be received by them on a subconscious level and will affect them on a subconscious level. Now you might think, oh, that's a good thing. Oh, I hope that does affect them. Well, it is going to affect them. But here's the deal. It's electromagnetic. So yeah, it's going to go out and it's going to cause them harm, but it's going to come back and return to you with interest. You don't want that. You don't need that. That's not going to help you. That's not love. Jesus didn't do that. He forgave. When he's up on the cross and the dudes are freaking murdering him, killing him up there, he said, forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they do. And he genuinely meant it because he could only emit love from himself. It was all that he could do. He was showing us the right way. He was showing us the proper way. I've experienced this. People send in all kinds of hate. What do? You take that. They're giving you their energy. They're giving it to you. So take it and take it in and transmute it into powerful love and energy and send it back out, because you're going to get that return back to you. They're going to get their hate returned back to them, but you will not. If you have transmuted it and changed it, you will get the love that you sent back out. So this is such a key element, forgiveness. How I came to forgiveness was by experiencing a past life. That was one of the things that did it for me, and for one person in particular, because I had seen that they had done something to me in a previous life, and I got revenge on them rather than forgiving them. And then we both pass on, and it was both brought to both of our attentions at that time that, oh, we were supposed to forgive. That's what this was about, and now we have to come back and do it again because we didn't learn the lesson. So if you have someone in your life that you need to forgive them, or you're going to have to come back and you're going to have to learn the lesson again. And what has to happen is they're going to come back and they're going to have to hurt you. It is part of the contract. It is part of the agreement that in order to forgive somebody, to learn the lesson right, they got to do something to you in the first place. Otherwise, I got nothing to forgive. Like, what am I forgiving if they haven't done the thing? So it's part of the deal. When they come back, they got to do something so that we have to forgive them. So Jesus taught about forgiveness. Now, what you think and feel is made with the same energy that your world is created from. So imagine this. I was listening to this on Joe Dispenza, and he put it so beautifully the other day. It's like, basically, our bodies are particles, right? We're energy. We're just energy, and it assembles itself according to our beliefs. So let's say that someone has a belief in sickness, and I see this all the time, right? If somebody's got some illness or sickness, they talk about it all the time. All the time. Oh, my pain. Oh, my illness. Oh, my this. Oh, my that. They believe in it. They put their faith in it. They put their power in it because they are giving it so much of their mind power. They're feeding that thing with their thoughts. Now, what happens when you believe in this illness? I believe, this thing is harming me in this pain. I believe in it. When you believe in it, you are not believing in the divine love. And the divine love is the only thing that's really real. But it's our mind that introduces all these other things. And because our mind glams onto this and globs onto that and believes in those things, it keeps feeding it, and it keeps feeding it, and it keeps feeding it. If you would only but believe in the love, if you could know it on the deepest level, then you would understand. And in order to get there to that deepest level of that love, because it's perfect and it's pure, you have to rid your mind of everything that it's not. And it takes work. It's like going to the gym, right? When you first start going, yeah, it might be tricky, it might be hard, but eventually you get good at it, you become addicted to it, you want to go because you know, ooh, it makes me feel good. This is the same as your spiritual practice. And so if you can make your spiritual practice one where you are constantly ridding your mind of all the things that are harmful or that are hurtful to you, then what are you left with? You're left with the heaven. You're left with the love. So you can go from one thought to the next, and you can take yourself from that one thought to the next, from hell to heaven, or from heaven to hell, from thought to thought, right? When you think about something that's harmful, something that hurts you, something that has harmed you in the past or that breaks your heart, you are in hell. And you are allowing it because your free will is your mind. And as you've allowed that free will to run all willy-nilly and to think about these things that are harming you and that are hurting you, while you are doing this, you are in a state of hell. But you allow it through your thought. We have free will, we have choice, we can choose the heavenly thought, we can choose to think something differently. Like I said to you guys yesterday, when that angel came through, when I was in that circle time the other day, you know, the angel with all the eyes, the ones with all the eyes on the wings, on the body, on the everywhere. And I mean, I'd seen that angel before and was like, what the heck is this? Angels don't look like that. What a weird thing. Why would I think that they don't look like that? Why? Because somebody told me that a long time ago, right? I was going to church and I just seen like the dude with the wings. Yeah. Maybe they look like that too. I don't know. But certainly this angel was real and it appeared. And what that angel was, because I asked it, because I'm like, dude, what are you doing here? Like, what's up with this? And it showed me. It was, which eye do you need to look through to gain the perspective that's going to help you? Which eye is going to align you with the divine love? How do you need to see this thing so that you can heal this thing, so that you can be in alignment with love? And as I understood that, I'm going to say this to you again here. What you think and feel with the same energy that your world is created from. This is why when you get rid of those things that aren't the love, your visible world changes. This is why when someone comes to me for healing, and they have faith, because they have to have faith. It can't just be my faith. I mean, they'll feel it, they'll see it, they'll whatever. And I actually did have a client one time that said that he saw my faith and that was what healed him, was my faith. Cool, whatever. It doesn't matter what faith you have, as long as you have the faith. But because we think and feel with the same material, with the exact same energy that our world is created from, this means that we don't have any lag time. That when a healing occurs, it is instantaneous. It can be right now in this minute, depending on your belief. When I hang out with my friends, this is something that I say to them really regularly. If we're doing something amazing, and we're like, okay, let's go and bless these waters. Okay, let's go and do this amazing thing. Okay, we're doing this thing, cool, let's do this thing. And when we do the thing, I say now, because this is the funnest part. Now, I need you to ask for proof within the next 2 to 5 minutes of exactly what we did. We're going to get some proof in the next 2 to 5 minutes. Why? Because we're not waiting friggin' half an hour. I don't want to wait half an hour. I don't want to wait a day. I don't want to wait 2 weeks. Give me some proof in however long. That's showing lack of faith when you got to wait a month to get an answer. No, we can get the answer right now. It can materialize right now because we think and feel with the exact same energy that our world is created from. Therefore, when we shift our beliefs, when we change something, when we expect something different, it materializes just like this. There's nothing solid. There's nothing solid under the sun. Our thoughts are electromagnetic blueprints, which eventually externalize as events or things that you've longed for, or that you greatly feared, or things, good or bad, that you've done to others. So when we're unaware, and we're just going through our daily life and we're not saying, hey, you know, divine, I want to see some proof of this thing that we just did here, and we're expecting it and we're creating it, when we're just running around in normal mode, human mode, regular person, daily mode, the things that we experience in our life are because of the blueprint, the electromagnetic blueprint that we have going on, and these are all based on our beliefs. What do we believe is going to happen? What do we expect is going to happen? And we usually base it off of our past, right? This is how it goes. And so this is why we have repeated things happen in our life. How many relationships have you had that ended exactly the same, or that had the exact same, situation to it? How many times have you gone through something and it's like, oh, you got all this money and then you lost it, and then you got all this money and then you lost it? What patterns do you have in your life? What can you recognize in your life as a pattern? Because as soon as you can recognize that you have a repeated pattern, then you can identify the belief underneath it. Okay, well, I must believe this thing. And then when you go into your subconscious mind, you can confirm, yep, I believe that thing, and then you can eradicate it because it is not helpful to you. And the only way that you can do this, because, it can be tricky to change those beliefs. The only way that you can do this is with the Divine's love. But lucky for you, lucky for me, the Divine's love is in everything. It's literally in everything. It's literally in every molecule. It's literally in every single particle that exists. But when our mind believes in the hell, it will be witness to that, because our thoughts are made of the exact same energy as the earth, as everything that you see around you. And because of this, it will color it. It will change it. So, here's the thing. The condition of your home. Look around your home. What kind of condition is your home in? What does it look like? Is there anything that is lacking that is there in your home? Anything that is lacking? No? Wonderful, it's beautiful. If there is, there's a belief that is there. If there's something that you need and you do not have it, it is because you have a belief. Because the Divine loves you so much that there is absolutely nothing that the Divine will not provide and will not give to you. There's not one thing, there's not anything at all, unless you do not believe in it. What you are witness to in your life is your beliefs. That's it. Plain and simple, your beliefs. And the expectations that you have that arise from these beliefs, that's what you see in your life. When you expect this terrible thing to happen, it happens. When you expect this wonderful thing to happen, it happens. Your expectations are realized. Have you ever had something and you were like, oh, I just know this thing. I just know it's going to pan out for me this way. Or you built a business and you were like, I just know it. I just got the feeling. You created that. You created it, and it was through your belief in it. So you've done wonderful, amazing things before, right? And you can identify that right now. When I really thought and I really believed in this thing, it really happened. It was your belief. It's not that specific thing. It is not secluded to that specific thing that happened for you. It is your belief in it. This is what Jesus was talking about. He was talking about faith and he was talking about belief. And he didn't say, believe in me. He didn't say that. No, he said, have faith, have belief. It does not matter what it is. It doesn't matter what you believe in. It will happen for you if you believe in it. If you truly believed 100% that you were going to win or that you were going to gain $178 million in your life and you believed it without any doubt, it would materialize for you. Where it comes from, it does not matter. When you believe in something and you have no doubt, you get it. This is what Jesus was talking about, and along the road, he was telling you that when you just put out the love, then you are living rightly. You are then in divine alignment, and that love that you emanate to all the people around you, to the plants, to the animals, to all the things, it is returned back to you. Always. 100%. It is returned back to you, and it is your belief that, of course, I'm putting out the love that magnetizes it to you even quicker. Even quicker. Because I believe when I speak something out, it's going to materialize real quick. It does. But if I have a doubt, I don't know about that one. I'm not too sure about that one. Then it doesn't. Plain and simple. Every single time. Love, love, love is the only way to healing, well-being, prosperity, true success, happiness. It is the only way. If you have been blessed in your life in some way, maybe you've been blessed financially, that has come from the divine. It is the only place that it comes from. It has come from the divine. So you can take some area of your life where you see the success and then take another area where you lack the success and pull the energy from that area where you are successful, and it's because you see it and it's because you believe in it, because you've put your faith in it, because you just know it. It feels normal, it feels comfortable, it feels good because you believe in that thing so rightly, so much so. Pull that into whatever other area that you need it in. Where do you feel like you are lacking? Pull it over there. Put it in there. Meditate with it in there. Sit with it in there. Believe it is in there. And invite the divine for the best possible, highest way to come through. Because when we want things in life, when we just want certain things, been there, man. I'm a human. It's like, oh, I want this thing. Was it good for us? Was it right for us? Maybe not. We're sitting there saying, oh, I want this really pretty bouquet of flowers. Look, there's a dozen roses in it. It's got all these pretty chrysanthemums and these daisies. And this is the one. This is the one that I want. Meanwhile, there's this bouquet that's 15 times bigger with every flower you could possibly think of that smells just so beautiful and amazing that you will never get because you have limited yourself by saying, this is the thing. Because you chose. So in every decision that you make, and in every move that you make, and in everything that you do, ask, what is for the best and highest of all creation? I want that. Because I guarantee you it's going to be better because it's limitless. Now, when I was just on my trip and I was just in Sedona, me and my friend Laura, everywhere that we went, what time do we need to be at this thing? Divine, tell us what time we need to. Okay, we need to show up at 5 p.m. Okay, that seems a little late. Sure, whatever. Okay, this is what we're being told. And then we'd show up and then we'd meet these magical people that were the people that we were supposed to be meeting. It wouldn't have happened if we would have gone at 3 o'clock when we felt like, oh, we're bored, we should go here at 3 o'clock. Well, no. We needed to wait and we needed to follow the divine's instructions and to listen to what is best. And by doing that, you were going to be in the right place at the right time. Have you ever just felt pulled and you're like, oh, I really feel like I need to go, shopping, or I need to go and do this thing or whatever, and you feel pulled to go do something. When you feel pulled to go and do something, or you're told, ooh, I should go do this thing, and maybe it seems a little weird, seems a little strange, maybe it seems like something you wouldn't normally do, that's the thing. Go do the thing. Because then you are following that divine guidance that leads you moment by moment by moment. Now, I know sometimes we wish, me too, man, that we could just predict the future. But we can create it. We can create it through putting out good, loving, and wonderful things. You can guarantee, and you don't know exactly what it'll be, but you can guarantee you're going to get back those same energies. That's what you can guarantee. And sometimes we want to know the future, but when I was up at the cabin and I had been in this heightened state, this amazing enlightenment and getting all these downloads, and I was a couple days into it at this point. And I know I've told you guys this story before, but I'm walking down the road and I'm like, divine, what should I be doing? What else? Give me more. Tell me, what should I be doing right now? And all I heard was just keep walking. And I had this inkling of disappointment, and that feeling of disappointment when you have been in an elated state is a terrible feeling, and you do not want to slip. You don't want to slip from that heightened state that you're in. So I just allowed it for a moment, and the divine only allowed it for a moment. Because immediately I was told, I do not predict your future. I tell you in the right now what you should be doing. And I was walking down a road, and the divine told me, keep walking down the road. Good call, divine. Or what else was going to happen there? It was moment to moment. It was literally second to second to second to second to second. And so when we can know what to do right now in this exact second, we're on the right path. And then when we can pray to the divine and we can say, divine, I need you to guide me. I need you to guide me throughout the day, and then we can keep checking in, right? It's like, if you were serious with somebody, and maybe you lived with them, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go out, I'm going to go do this thing, and you're just letting them know, like, hey, I'm leaving the house, or hey, I'm doing whatever. Do this with the divine. Do it with the divine. Hey, divine, I was thinking of going to the mall. What do you think of that? Okay, cool. Let's go to the mall. Or, hey, divine, I'm thinking of going to the mall, and the divine's like, you know what? Just wait 6 more minutes. Okay, that's totally weird, but I'm going to wait 6 more minutes. Okay. And it's listening to these little things that come along, and all of a sudden you go to the mall and somebody walks in just as you're walking out. And it's like, dang, had I not gone 6 minutes, that time I wouldn't have ran into that person. So just check in. Ask throughout the day, and always just hold the intention of what is the best thing, because that's the thing that I want. I don't want something that's not the best for me and for somebody else and for the whole entire planet and the whole entire world. Because when you do that, you can guarantee, you can ensure that you're doing things rightly, that you're in the right place at the right time. So if the divine says, go and do this right now, go and do it right now. And if the divine says, no, wait 8.5 minutes, then wait 8.5 minutes. And just have faith without any doubt that you are being guided in the right way. This is what I have for you guys here today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Love y'all so very much. So wonderful. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. You could even share it with a friend if you think that might be helpful. But thank you guys very much, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care.